Hello, everybody. This is Jeffrey Hill, Executive Chair of the Satellite Show in Washington, D.C., and I'm here with another one of our featured speakers at this year's show. I'm here with Tess Hatch, Managing Director at Stifel Venture Bank, where she provides banking and lending solutions to venture bank companies and funds. Previously an investor at Bessemer Venture Partners, she was recognized on Forbes 30 Under 30 in venture capital and is a frequent contributor to Bloomberg, TechCrunch, other outlets on space and frontier tech. She's speaking on our Wednesday opening general session titled The Space Economy Navigating Market Volatility in Fair or Foul Weather. And that takes place on Wednesday, March 25th at 9:30 a.m. in Ballroom AB. Tess, thank you so much for being here. It's good to see you again. How are you?
Nice to see you as well. Thanks for having me. Doing good.
I remember you at Satellite a few years ago interviewing Lori Garver when she was coming out with her excellent new book. It was a great interview you conducted with her. So for those of you watching, you probably recognize Tess from that Monday keynote luncheon that you hosted for us. So thank you so much for doing that. But I want to talk about what you're going to speak on this year. The Wednesday opening general session focuses on the balance between opportunity and risk in the future space economy. But as an investor turned banker, I want to ask you about the present. What are you most excited about in the space sector this year? What are you seeing that's most exciting to you?
In 2026, I'm most excited about those constellations of satellites that were science fiction a few years ago that are becoming a reality. I feel like if we rewind and we look at the technical catalysts or trends that have gotten space to where it is today, the invention of the rocket, getting assets to and from space was the first. Then constellations of satellites to provide Earth observation and communications were the second. We had many, many, many companies doing that. And for years as an investor, I pounded my fist on the table and said, what else can we do? We have access to and from space. We have communications and Earth observation sensors up there. What other things, what other sensors, what other use cases for Earth or use cases from space can we do? And I'm so thrilled that wireless power transfer, we're potentially not just going to get internet from space, but energy from space, manufacturing in space. We're going
Mhm.
to have drugs be manufactured up there to potentially cure cancer or pull fiber optic cables with zero imperfections. Those applications I'm most excited about in 2026.
That's great. So I assume my next question to you is, what are you most interested in learning about from the other industry speakers at Satellite? Is it safe to assume you're talking about all these applications you want to learn? How is this possible? Or
Yes, and it's kind of hard to say space now without defense, especially
Mhm.
being in the Bay in Silicon Valley. Defense tech is quite the trend. There's a lot of money being pumped into the industry right after AI. If you're not AI, hopefully you're a defense tech business. So I'm actually most interested in other panels and speakers that are coming from the government and are ideally end users and customers of our companies to then really understand what their problems are to therefore figure out the best solutions that we should build for them.
It's great. Finally, you've worked a lot with startups, and you know a lot of them intimately and know this market really well. As you mentioned, the constellations, a lot of these constellations now are the result of the market moving very fast. Lots of M&A, lots of companies combining resources, all to compete with very well-funded market leaders. How can startups succeed in a market that is moving faster than ever? How important is it for startups to scale up so that they can compete?
I actually think it's not scaling up, and I think it's
Okay.
growing at a pace that makes sense for your business.
Hmm.
Very often, I see, especially deep tech or space tech companies, overshoot their skis and raise at valuations that they therefore are unable to grow into. So I think it's just important to stay true to the first principle unit economics of your business and just really growing a healthy, sustainable, efficient company and whatever makes sense for what you're doing.
Absolutely. Well, that'll be interesting because it'll be different perspectives on this coming
It
together
is.
in satellite because there are other people who have opinions about scaling that it's good to get this dialogue going.
It's a
But
controversial opinion, especially right now
right,
with all this money going into defense tech. Others will definitely disagree with me. And I see the point of, hey, if you can raise a massive 100, 500, X million-dollar round, have it on the balance sheet, and then you can spend it over the course of years. I don't know if that's always the right decision for every company. And at
yeah,
the end of the day, just building an enduring company, because we're all talking, at least what I've been talking about is private entities. Ultimately, even in your question, you got to have an exit, IPO, M&A, and their numbers are different than private company valuations right now.
yeah. Well, this is exactly why we asked you to be on the panel because we know you won't just agree with everybody just out of reaction. Tess, thank you so much for talking to me before the show. We're only 2 months away, so it's coming up very soon. I look forward to seeing you on the Wednesday opening general session. And again, thank you for talking to me today.
Likewise, thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.